any transfer news? Is there any progress? Is there any inkling that this deal is going to be done imminently? I don't know. I don't know, guys. I've absolutely lost my mind in regards to this situation here because I don't know what's going to happen. I guess there could still be a chance that this deal doesn't even go ahead. But I think it's going to get done, and I think it's going to get done soon. But who knows? Who really knows? We've had deals fall apart before in the past. We have got this tour coming up, so there's an extra importance to get him in there before the tour. Because if we don't get him in there before the tour, then we're not giving Amorim a chance, really, at all to work with these players properly ahead of the pre-season. And I say these players, I mean, it would just literally be him, Diego Leon, and Mateus Cunha, which is clearly just nowhere near enough. It's nowhere near enough for what he needed for his squad to go into the new season and also to prepare for the pre-season. So the United board, United owners, Glinios, whatever you want to say, they've really let Amorim down so far. I mean, he must be absolutely fuming. He must be fuming. If I was him, I'd be seriously thinking about walking away if they don't do some business soon, because how's he going to do any differently to last year, trying to play the same system that he's playing? He's going to play that system, but yet we've only added one player, Mateus Cunha, and okay, Diego Leon, but he's a young kid, or is he certainly not experienced to the point where we can expect him to be ready? He might be, but he's not expected to be. So you've got these issues taking place there without the signings, and it's basically the same shitty squad that we had last year, minus a couple of players that left, and a few players that don't want to be here anymore, who are currently excluded. So this is very much a poor situation here at United, and I don't know how we can improve it. I mean, we just have to sign Mbeumo today. We have to pay the extra couple of million. We have to then go and turn our attentions to outgoings, get rid of Sancho, get rid of Garnacho, get rid of Rashford. But even if we can't get the outgoings, we've still got to work on a couple of positions. We need a goal scorer and need a goalkeeper. So that's what we need to do to fix the situation, to be fair. And we need to get all that business wrapped up before the pre-season tour starts so that these new players can settle in and play for Amorim in the summer. Look, here's a report here from Sky Sports. It just says Manchester United are hoping that they'll be able to secure a deal for Brentford forward Bryan Mbeumo before their pre-season tour of the USA. I mean, for fuck's sake, guys, really? This has been going on for a month already, and we're still 10 days away from the first fixture of the tour, and we're still talking about this being hopeful, that we might hope that we can get Bryan Mbeumo. I mean, what's the hope? Just get it done. Get it done immediately right now, so we can have a little bit of time to get him in. It's simple, really. We've still got to do medicals. We've still got to do all the paperwork, and that's going to take a few days. So, goodness me, they've got to reach this agreement today, or yesterday, or a week ago is when they should have reached this agreement. So, United being classic Glazer shithouses and basically just trying to save a few million quid by playing the long game. Brentford had their fee. Yes, okay, I think they are asking a bit much. But ultimately, we're the desperate ones here. We are the desperate ones. They can drag this on all summer long if they want. The worst that can happen, I suppose, is that they sell him to somebody else for a little bit less, maybe. But realistically, they've still got to think that they can get money out of United, which they can. So there we have it, really, guys. It's is what it is. Manchester United are hoping that we can get this guy in, and surely there's going to be a case of a potential announcement in the next couple of days in terms of an agreement, but you just don't know. This could take a long time still because they don't seem to be reaching the agreements anytime soon. We've had a couple of bids rejected. Obviously player wants to come. It's just the fact that we can't agree it with Brentford. I just can't believe we've got to Wednesday the 9th of July where we're in this situation. I just cannot believe it, in fact. It's absolutely bizarre. So, yeah, my thoughts on it are just get it done today. Get it done today. And I hope that we can, but I don't think we will because we're just bottlers. Yep, Sharma Chef says United remain optimistic that they can sign Bryan Mbeumo. They're not far away from the overall fee Brentford want, believed to be £65 million. They remain hopeful a deal could be done in time for him to be part of their pre-season tour of the United States via Sky Sports Chef. You know what, though? I mean, what is this all about? Brentford, it's believed to be £65 million. I bet you Brentford would take £65 million. So what's the hold-up? £65 million? Goodness me, that's only a little bit less or a little bit more than what we offered last time around. It's just that the structure of the deal is not favourable for Brentford. I bet you that's what it is that's holding it up. United just trying to scrimp and save and give as little up front as we can, looking to try and give add-ons and bonuses and all this sorts of stuff down the line. Brentford just want the money up front so they can reinvest. Pay the money. Pay the money. 65 million quid is a reasonable figure. It's not an insane amount to pay. So if it is 65 million pounds up front, and that's the reason why it's being held up, because they want it up front and we don't want to pay all of it up front, then, you know, surely it can be reached, an agreement reached very soon. Surely an agreement can be reached very soon on this one. But it is just getting a little bit silly now, isn't it? This transfer saga, ordeal, whatever you want to say. It's absolutely horrendous. Let's just get into the chat for a minute and see what you legends are saying about this Mbeumo situation. We have got lots of other news to discuss today as well. Sancho updates, Galatasaray and Napoli and Osimhen links, Goalkeeper links, all sorts of stuff. We're going to get into it today. But let's just get stuck into the live chat for a few minutes and have a chat with you legends about this whole gash situation on Mbeumo. Mbeumo most likely joins in August. Could you just imagine that if we go into the tour with just Cunha in there? It would be even worse in some ways because, like, the disbelief around the squad of not having strengthened that much, and, you know, without Garnacho, without Rashford, without a couple of players that left as well, in Lindelof, Evans, etc. You know, there's a couple of players that have left us, and we've only got one or two in. So, yeah, I mean, if you're in the squad, you must be thinking, hang on, aren't we meant to be strengthening this summer? Aren't we meant to be actually trying to do some better things next season? We finished 15th last year, and we haven't strengthened. You know, I bet Bruno Fernandes is questioning staying now. That's all I'm saying. Probably questioning staying now because just the lack of extra added players coming into the side is pretty apparent at the moment. Yeah, new Monday deadline. What's going on there, Ray? No third bid sent yet. No, not yet. Not yet. I mean, they're obviously working on things. I believe they won't even send a third official bid until this has been essentially verbally accepted or agreed there from Brentford, because Man United don't want to be seen sending in another bid with a structure that Brentford don't like, just for it to be rejected again, because that would really rile the fan base up, and it would also make United look like absolute mugs, and they probably just have to pay the money anyway if they want to get him, or dead the deal off and move on elsewhere. So, yeah, I can't really see United even submitting another official bid until it's been sort of verbally given the green light by the likes of Brentford's higher-ups anyway. So I think Man United just waiting on the structure to be sorted out, which is crazy because this has been going on for weeks. But clearly they want cash up front. Maybe they want 65 million up front, and we only want to give them 57.5 million up front. You know, something along those lines. It's like there could just be a few million here or there that is separating this deal, and I don't know why we haven't just paid the money, but we haven't. And yeah, okay, they might be stead firm on 70 million. Well, that's unrealistic. They're going to have to bend a little bit. And I'm sure we can make them bend a little bit if we sweeten the deal in other ways, maybe more up front, etc. How you doing, Eugene? I'm all right. Thanks for asking, mate. Just woken up, lad. Not too bad. Yeah, it is like the Moyes situation overall. Well, could be Matthew Smith, could be. I mean, still, to be fair, they signed Cunha straight away. They were hoping to get Mbeumo. We have been working on Mbeumo. Brentford obviously asking for a lot, and we haven't been able to get the deal done. But let's just say in an alternate reality they did. Then we would have had Mbeumo and Cunha early doors, plus Diego Leon. It's not enough, definitely not, but it was a decent start 3 weeks ago. Now it's getting a bit sketchy because we literally have a first tour game in 10 days. So now things are getting a little bit sketchy for us, aren't they? We've got a limited amount of time to strengthen this squad for Amorim. And it's not looking good, Brev. It's not looking good because obviously we've still got these negotiations to take place. It is possible for players to get signed in a matter of a few days. Other clubs can seem to do it. Man United not so much, but it is possible you can sign a player in a few days from literally from scratch. But we don't operate that like that generally. So in terms of other realistic signings for Man United beyond Mbeumo, goodness me, that's going to take some time. Surely they won't be in before the tour. You know, Mbeumo may well be in before the tour. I think he will be in before the tour. It'd be crazy to have this negotiation go on so long and be so close really to reaching a deal and not just pay a little bit extra to give Amorim what he needs to get this guy in and work with him in the tour, etc. So I think we'll get Mbeumo in before the tour, but beyond that, I'm massively concerned. We should have had a new goalie playing all the pre-season tour games. We should have had a new striker playing all the pre-season tour games. And then arguably a midfielder as well, or a wing-back or something. You know, there's certainly positions we could strengthen. Yes, we've not been able to sell. That's another big problem. Man United are just having a mare in the outgoings department, and that doesn't help. Thank you, Lone Wolf. Thank you, Lone Wolf. Appreciate you. Let's go. How you doing there, Tommy Boyle? It's great to see you, lad. Now then, Jadon, hope you're well. Hello, Bacon Rig. Hope everyone's doing good. Hopefully the Langren Alvaro money coming in will now help. Do you know what's annoying, Tommy Boyle, lad? This is what's annoying me. So Man United are getting money, obviously, from the Alvaro deal. Is it 5 million? I think we're getting from that. And we're also getting money from the Forest to Newcastle Elanga deal. I think we're getting 6 to 8 million or whatever it is on that. We've made more friggin' money from other teams selling our ex-players than we've made from selling our own players this summer. Just get your head around that a second. Just get your head around that. Other teams selling players that we sold to them previously with clauses, extra little sell-on clauses and stuff like that, have generated us £13 million. How much have we generated from selling players in the squad so far? We all know the answer to that, my friends. It's absolutely nothing, but that's true. That statement is true. These clubs that have sold our players have given us £13 million in deals, and we can't sell any of our own players. So there we have it. Man United in an absolute state of decay when it comes to having these players stick around and being unable to sell them. Other teams can, but we can't sell them at all. Yeah, I know. How shit are we, Tommy Ball? That's crazy, isn't it, lad? We've been able to generate cash from other teams selling our ex-players, but not selling our own players so far. So Man United can't really seem to move these players on. Yes, we know the reasons why. There's lots of reasons why. Ultimately, these players are pretty gash. They're quite gash, aren't they, some of these players? Like, they're not really up to the standard. So maybe a lot of teams are not really looking at them. I'm looking at you like players like Sancho or Højlund, Onana, these sorts of players. I mean, we know Sancho, we'll get into the Sancho Juventus stuff. That's actually looking good. But other signings, other deals, not looking so good to get players out the door because of the wages that they're paid, etc. So, yeah, Man United are having a nightmare in the outgoings department. More of a nightmare in the outgoings department than we are the incomings. And it was thought that we'd have to obviously get quite a significant amount of outgoings this season in order to bring new players in due to the lack of Champions League qualification, etc. So Man United are seriously walking a dangerous line at the moment where we may not be able to sell anyone and we may not be able to sign anyone beyond Mbeumo. I think Mbeumo is paid for, essentially. The money's there. Yes, we're trying to scrimp and save, but the money's probably there for that. We've already been working on that for a month. It's everywhere else, guys. It's everywhere else in the team we won't be able to strengthen. Oh, thank you, Marmite Man. Yes, I need to do some more Timo Shafter videos, don't I? They take about 4 hours to make or something, though. But I do need to make some very soon, lad. It's just too hot at the moment, isn't it, OHP, lad? Oh, I'm putting the old Timo Shafter jacket on as well. Good. Too much, mate. Too much. But big ups to you, OHP, and thank you for that, Marmite Man. By the way, guys, if you're just joining us, there's 241 lunchtime legends in here. Big ups, you legends around the world. Hit that like button if you're just joining us. We're on 88 likes. Let's have a like spike and see if we can get this stream to 100 likes. Every like helps the channel out. Also, subscribe to the channel. That helps us too. And give us a share, legends. Yeah, Ivor says, pants pulled down again, but I knew 65 would be the price. Let's just do it. Yeah, I think 65 million up front is the price that they've wanted. They were prepared, I think, to negotiate a little bit. End of the day, if you say our asking price is £70 million, it's unlikely you're going to get that, especially when it's quite a high figure quoted. But also, you know, you're going to have to bend a little bit if you want to sell a player. And this player wants to go. He wants to go. He'll be very annoyed and frustrated that this has taken so long to actually get done, because he wants to go and join his new team. He wants to get his new signing on bonus and his new big wages. And also he wants to settle in. He wants to be on the plane for the tour. He wants to get his house sorted out or whatever, all these different things he has to sort out. He wants to get that sorted out. You don't want to have to be doing that in a cloud of, you know, carnage at the start of a season with the game starting. So he will be very frustrated and wanting to get this done. Thank you so much there, Tonk Nash, lad. Thank you so much, Tonk Nash, for getting in here with a £2 super chat. Big ups. He says, we ain't a giant anymore. Stop thinking like we are. Well, I mean, you know, right now in terms of teams, we're certainly not a giant, mate. No, we're kind of the opposite of that. We're kind of like Dr. Evil's mini-me right now. We're pretty small in team-wise. But actually, you know what? Size-wise of a football club, we are a massive football club. It's just that we missed out on too much, I think, this last season just gone, and it's made us look absolutely awful, and nobody wants a piece of that pie right now. 15th place finish and no Europe. That's the reality. That's the reality. If we'd have won the Europa League, that's another trophy. That would be 3 trophies in 3 years and European qualification. We'd probably be having a heck of a better window already right now. Not to mention the extra 100 million windfall you'd get from the European football money coming in. So that's what's cost us a lot, really. We have, over the years, even whilst we've been shite, we all know this club's gone on a massive nosedive post-Fergie. But even over the years, we still managed to entice really top players, top managers, big names to the football club because the club is a giant football club. But that's kind of all we've got going for us right now. It's all in the past. It's the history of this football club that's propping us up rather than the current times. Current times, we are not a great team. We are not a great club. We're not a well-run club. We are a great club, obviously. We're a great club, great fan base, all of that. But the actual running of the club is very poor. The likes of Rios and Glazers. I mean, obviously, Rios haven't been in that long, and maybe there's limitations to what they can truly do and where they can truly spend it because of the Glazer shithouses. But it doesn't seem like, from the face of it, that they're doing a very good job since they come in as well. Thank you for that, Tonk Nash, though. Ivor says, thoughts on Rashford coming back to Carrington? Yeah, well, obviously fair play to him. He's trying to stay sharp. I don't know what he's trying to do. Is he trying to make himself there, available, just in case he can't get a move away, so he can try and worm his way back into proceedings at United, so he's not sat around twiddling his todger all summer long or season long? I don't know. I still think a loan move away makes the most sense. He's just showing to the world that he's professional, that he wants to play, that he's prepared to go there and, do what he has to do, reach his obligations as a Manchester United player, but also, prepare properly for the season as much as he can. The more we accepted the harsh truth, the better. We aren't a giant anymore. Well, we aren't a giant in terms of footballing quality. That's so true. How could we say that when we're 15th? Yes, Kenny not found what's going on. You've been married and divorced since the Mbeumo carry-on started. Get it done, boys. Bloody hell, Kenny. Congratulations, and also congratulations. You know what I'm saying, getting that. But you know what? This is the real question, guys. This is the real question. What will get done first? Bryan Mbeumo to Manchester United or GTA 6 being released? That is the real question, isn't it? Fucking hell, this is turning into one of those Rockstar sagas, mate. Not good. Not good at all. And we've just smashed 100 likes as well. So, thanks everyone who's done that. Right, okay, let's I guess we'll crack on with the news then, shall we? Because I can't be asked talking too much about Mbeumo, but I'll just read one or two more of your comments out actually very quickly. Mbeumo deals a joke like United just pay the money and look like mugs. I agree, David. We are making ourselves look like mugs right now. We do just need to pay the money and get them in. We're going to look like mugs either way. If we shave a few million quid off the deal, but it takes all summer long, we're mugs. Or if we pay 70 million for him and getting him now, we're mugs. But I know which mugs I'd rather be. It would be the mugs with a new player. So I agree with you. Imagine if we are great again, the players who bring us there will be forever immortalised. They really will. Remember Manchester United back in the day. Obviously, Fergie came in late 80s. It's taken 4 or 5 seasons to really get us going back to the top there where we're challenging and winning the Premier League. And the players that were in during that period are immortalised in this football club. The people like Steve Bruce and Cantona, the catalyst, and obviously Keano and Schmeichel and Irwin and all these guys. You're absolutely right. They like players at United, if they can get us back to being great, will be immortalised. They do have a great opportunity there. Also remember, United fans and Arsenal fans known for being very aggressive towards players. I don't think we are, but players would think that because of certain situations. I mean, maybe. I think in top tier football, there's always going to be an element of abrasiveness from the fan bases, especially towards players who are gash. So, yes, but if you've got the bottle about you, I wouldn't be too worried about that, to be fair. Yep, Michael Sharp, there is still no Mbeumo deal. Oh, my God, United, how the mighty have fallen. Well, could be any day now, mate, but again, we're not holding our breath. We're expecting it's going to be done before the tour. Of course, it should be, because we need to get him in to work with Amorim and the team. Hey, what's going on, Marek Stachowski? You're in Brighton for next month for work. Glad to be on the same land as you. Nice one, Marek Stachowski. That's awesome, mate. Brighton. I've never actually been to Brighton, but I hear good things. Nice one, Marek. Have a great time, lad. Ivor says, smash the likes, guys. Thank you, Ivor. Okay, so I'm going to crack on with the latest news other than Mbeumo. We'll keep you up to date, of course, if anything comes out or breaks during the show about it. But as of right now, we haven't got the deal done and wrapped up. It's just not really happened. It's just not happening at the moment. Right, folks. Okay, then. So let's talk about this. So we're talking about, obviously, another option up top, Osimhen. I mean, I don't know how much it would cost Man United to get Osimhen for money up front, but there's blatantly no chance of that happening now, is there? We clearly don't want to pay all the money for Mbeumo up front. We haven't worked on other signings, other players, so we're clearly not really rolling in the cash. Otherwise, we'd be trying to do other deals. It's kind of obvious they have to sell before they buy, because they would have already bought some other positions and sorted some other positions out if we had money to spend. It's obvious we have to sell to buy, and we're not selling. We're not selling at the moment. But there is a report here that says that Napoli have rejected Galatasaray's 75 million euro offer for Osimhen. So it seems Napoli want the money up front. They have actually got a release clause in Osimhen's contract for 75 million euros, but it has to be all up front. You can trigger the release clause for Osimhen and get him in for 75 million euros right now. Yes, you're going to have to pay ridiculous wages, but that can be triggered. However, Napoli, that's what they would want. They don't want to have to wait for installments, they don't have to wait for different payments over 5 years, because it was reported that the situation there, with Galatasaray is that they are trying to spread this deal over 5 years, which is obviously just kind of ridiculous, really. They're not going to go for that, are they? It's just very unlikely. So, yes, they have indeed rejected it, but maybe there can be something a little bit improved there from Galatasaray's side of things with more up front, maybe split it over 2 years or something. If it was over 2 years, they might go for it. But over 5 years, I mean, that is taking the piss a little bit, isn't it? That's 15 million euros every single year for the next 5 years. Take it up to 2030. So I don't really think that that makes a lot of sense for Napoli. It doesn't make sense for Napoli. It makes a lot of sense for Galatasaray, but it doesn't make sense for Napoli. So can't really see that happening. I suppose a team like United could go in there and swoop in if we had the money available, but we're not going to do that. I mean, I think that would give us all a massive boost, though, if we could sign Osimhen. I've been talking about who I prefer, and I certainly prefer Premier League proven players such as Visser, Watkins, etc., Mateta even. I prefer those links, to be fair, I do. However, it would be a sign of ambition and a sign of bollocks if we were to go and try and pinch this Osimhen before he goes to the likes of Galatasaray. Problem is his wages obviously are very, very high, and Man United don't really want to pay high wages at the moment, nor probably should we pay high wages. But actually, Osimhen would be a bit of a statement of intent this summer. So I can't see us doing it, but, who else are we going to sign? I just can't see us doing it. Is there no interest? This is what I want to ask and bring up again, guys. We can't spend a lot of money. Is there no interest in Napoli taking on Alejandro Garnacho? I would have thought they would be interested in Garnacho. I really would. And I would have thought he would be very interested in a Napoli move. Go and hang out with Scotty McTominay. They're the champions of Italy. Like, come on. That's a banging move for a young 20-year-old Garnacho. It's a good move for us as well, getting a player off of our books. Like, why is no one in for Garnacho at the moment? I guess it's down to finances, whatever. But all I'm saying is you could chip a deal away, or chip a significant amount of the deal away off of the Osimhen price if you included a player such as the likes of Alejandro Garnacho. But who knows if that's even realistic. But a swap deal would certainly mean that the Viktor Osimhen deal would become a lot more affordable and make a lot more sense. At the end of the day, Garnacho's an academy product. We got him for peanuts, developed him. If we could, say, get 45, 50 million euros off of an Osimhen deal, then I would say that that is a cracking bit of business, really, to sign a player for essentially 25 million euros. And yes, he's on big wages, but factor that in over the course of a few seasons plus the 25 million euros. It's not that heinous, especially for a really good player. So I'm still holding out a bit of hope that we're going to go in for a striker as well soon. I don't think it will be this guy. Obviously, I'm just bringing this up because he's a target for us reportedly. Anyway, he's on the list. And it seems like Galatasaray are the team that are really making strides to take him on. He wants to play for Galatasaray. He played for them last season, obviously, on loan. And he's happy to play for them. He's even agreed personal terms and all that sort of thing with them. But Napoli won't be able to, I don't think, get the money that they want for him from Galatasaray. Because Galatasaray, I don't see how they can afford 75 million euros up front. I just don't see it. They clearly can't because they've apparently tried to sign him spread over 5 years anyway. So if that's the case, there must be a ways off trying to find a deal there for Osimhen. Yeah, there you go, Dino. Garnacho's attitude stinks. Daniel says Garnacho's overrated. Ronaldo wannabe. Daz says he's a moody little brat. That's the reason, isn't it? Mr. Miyagi, you legend. Garnacho attitude, I think, is the big problem. But I'd love to swap Garner and Rashford for Osimhen. Yeah, or Rashford's a great shout, you know, Mr. Miyagi. Forgot about that. Surely Rashford would be open to a Napoli move if he can't get his Barca move. Good call. Superstar, because Garnacho wants to stay in the Premier League. That's the noise coming from his camp. Yeah, I mean, I've heard this, but you know, it's going to be difficult for them to sign him, isn't it? I think right now, because Man United are, well, surely we're going to ask for more money if it's from a Premier League rival. Like if Chelsea offer money for Garnacho, it's got to be more money than Napoli would offer. That's just the reality. It has to be more because we don't want to sell him to a Premier League rival, especially a shithouse team like Chelsea or whoever. Yeah, that's true. Chelsea getting millions from the playing at the Club World Cup. That's true. They stand to make about 90 million altogether if they win it. They've already made 80 million. So you're absolutely right. They're getting an obscene amount of money. That's true. I guess they can easily afford a cheeky little Garnacho. And we would sell him to them. I'd be open to selling Garnacho to them, but they'd have to get, you know, 60, 70 million pounds out the back pocket for him because we're not just going to give a good young talent away to another Premier League rival for peanuts. Look what happens when we do that. We did that with Elanga, and now what? He's moving a year later or whatever for 55 million pounds. Yeah, Tommy Boy says, I'm more frustrated with the lack of goalkeeper news. We've been in talks with Roma twice for Milos Silva, been in Porto about Diogo Costa and the Martinez stuff. So annoying, nothing's happening. Hey, you have a good one, Dan Salford. Thank you so much for getting in there, as always, you legend. Same here, Santos Flow, mate. This transfer window is a debacle. All right, folks. So, anyway, Galatasaray probably can't get the deal done for Osimhen. I suppose he could be on the table for Man United if we had the money, which we don't. But we could use a player going in the opposite direction, maybe as a make-weight. Someone like Rashford, someone like Garnacho. And that means that this deal actually could be quite cheap, and it would be an ambitious signing. Yes, the wages would be high, but if he wants away from Napoli, which by all accounts he does, I mean, Man United's a great place to go, to be fair. So I think it might be on the cards. Clearly, he wants Galatasaray, though, but it would have to be for some sort of a swap deal. It's very unlikely this deal is even going to be progressing at all, but I suppose there is an outside chance it could happen, but I doubt it. Anyway, you just mentioned the goalkeeper situation there, Tommy lad. Let's talk about this for a second. So we are linked with a goalkeeper today. We're linked with a new goalkeeper today. Yeah, we're linked with a new goalie today. John Victor. Not to be confused with Victor John, but John Victor. I know what you're all thinking. Who the fuck is that guy? Anyway, no, listen, let's have a look at it, right? So this is from The Athletic today that says Manchester United look to reinforce key positions. One name that's quietly emerged as a candidate to strengthen the goalkeeper group is John Victor of Botafogo. There's plenty to like in John's game, the range and accuracy in distribution, the composure in aerial duels, the strong underlying shot-stopping metrics. John may not generate headlines, but in a league where every squad role matters, he could quietly become one of the more important signings of the summer. You know, I'm just going to say this. I know absolutely nothing about John Victor. Never seen him play. Never heard of him. Don't know anything about him. But I'd still rather have him than Andre Onana. 100%. Do you know what I mean? I know nothing of this individual, but I'd still just put a bet in that would probably be safer than Andre. So, but look, it is a link with a goalie. He's probably just a backup. It's probably coming in to be a backup, but who's he going to be a backup to? That's the question. Is he going to be a backup to Andre Onana, or is he going to be a backup to Andre Onana's replacement? Doesn't look like Andre Onana's going anywhere right now, does it? We're 10 days away from the tour. He'll be on that plane. We don't have another goalkeeper coming in at the moment. It's a shocker, isn't it? So, yeah, but John Victor is being linked with us from Botafogo. I don't know much about him. I don't know anything about him. Do any of you know anything about him? You know, let's have a little look. Hello, Francois Cock. How you getting on, lad? Yes, old 793, you legend. John Victor, no thank you. Never heard of John Victor. Who is John Victor? Mad Wand, thank you so much for hitting that subscribe button there, Mad Wand. Nice one. So you can hit the subscribe button down below if you want, guys. It's the red one down there. It says subscribe. Click the red subscribe button. Get yourself in there raw. And we're on here every lunchtime with all the latest Man United transfer news and goings on and latest updates. And we're also on here in the evening as well, about 10 p.m. So get yourself subscribed and involved with us. John Victor is a number 2. Yeah, not a number 1, not a number 1. I mean, you can sort of pluck out these nice lone wolf. You can sort of pluck out these great keepers from South American leagues and stuff. You know, if you think about players such as that have come into the Premier League, especially goalkeepers that have come into the Premier League and done well over the years, there's quite a few Brazilians that have sort of just been plucked out there and come into the Premier League and done well, isn't there? Such as the likes of Edison and Alisson and others. You know what I mean? There's definitely been quite a few. So I guess, you know, you could probably do worse, couldn't you? I.e. Andre Onana. Yes, Hidden Element says anyone's better than Andre Onana. Too many mistakes for a top goalkeeper. Even my neighbourhood team's goalie's safer than Onana. Oh. Exactly, that's what I'm saying, Mr. Miyagi. You're absolutely spot on, lad. It's so true. Who heard of Schmeichel or Vidic before they came to United? Yeah, well, I think we got Schmeichel from Brøndby, didn't we? Over in Denmark for not a lot of money, 600k or whatever it was. Vidic was from Spartak, wasn't he? Yeah, nobody really knew who those guys were. It's a fair point, lad. Sounds like a ChatGPT statement. Yeah, I like Diogo Costa a lot more too. The only thing is he's going to cost about 50 million quid. I think that's what's sort of holding that deal back, is that we just can't really afford it right now. Perhaps if we'd have sold Rashford, Sancho, Garnacho, these guys, all of them, then we might have been able to do something like that, but we haven't done. I would take John Duran. Definitely, I would. I don't know why we've not gone in for a loan move on that. Yep, Links Red, what's going on, lad? How things with you today? It's hot, and I'm hot and bothered in here. It's pretty toasty, mate. It's a nice sunny day down south, but in my pigsty right here, it is toasty. 27.1 degrees at the minute. Bring back Peter Schmeich's better than Onana. He'd still be better than Onana now. Yes, I agree. And Langer's a better prospect than Garnacho. Director of Football's managers all know that attitude. That's so true, MB Creator. That's a very good point, mate. It's all about the ethic, isn't it? Work ethic, professionalism, attitude. You're so right. That's most of the battle, really. Doesn't matter if you've got all the talent in the world if you're not prepared to apply yourself or work hard or try to strive to improve. Dang up, what's going on there, lad? Yes, mate. James Trafford playing at Old Trafford. That's who I'd have. I like your style, Mr. Miyagi. Yeah, I rate that deal as well. I'd definitely take him. He's not my first choice. I feel like we need someone a bit more experienced as of right now. You know, so I do like Costa. I do like Martinez, but I would certainly have Trafford. Swap Moises Caicedo for Garnacho. Interesting take there, Matthew. I mean, I definitely would, to be honest. Thought people said we wanted a goalkeeper who just got on with it, who wasn't a big name. True, Neil. Yeah, we just need talent. That's true. We don't really... I mean, it's not necessarily about not being a big name. It's like we do want them to be... I want them to be a big name. Ideally, we'd have Donnarumma. A big name usually means they're really, really good and they're one of the best players in the world. No, Donnarumma's the best goalie in the world, in my opinion. He's a big name. I'd like to have him. But we can't get him at the moment, so, you know. But Diogo Costa is a big name too, and he would be a great sign. I guess he's somewhat more achievable as well. Like, he actually might want to come to Manchester United. Wow, Brighton scouts are amazing, aren't they? I know. Aurelio Gomez, yeah, there's another one there, Thugger lad. Still believe Amorim going to take some bunnies out of his Portuguese hat. Oh, right, yeah, rabbit out the hat vibes, yeah. I hope so, bud. Let's see. He hasn't been afforded anything yet this summer, though. Like we say, his frustration levels must be seriously climbing because he hasn't been given what he needs. And he's seemingly not got the freedom to go into the market and sign players like Erik ten Hag did. He's not actually been allowed to do that. YouTube always plays best bits from a keeper, so take that. John Victor looks amazing. Oh, sorry. John Victor looks okay, but Lucas Chevalier looks amazing. Yeah, I like the Lucas Chevalier link as well. But again, you know, these guys beat Young. Carnesecchi's another one over in Italy who are linked with us. We're linked with loads of goalies, but I prefer the more experienced ones, personally. Good afternoon there, Johnny Swan. Well, there you go, Dino. Ilanga isn't worth 40, let alone 55. The market's strange indeed. Should have got him for 4.5 million when in Ecuador. I know we could have easily got Moises Caicedo for that at one point. We were actually talking about it on this channel for 5 million quid. And then he ended up obviously coming to the Premier League, but not for us. Okay, Mr. Miyagi says, pin this comment, Joe. I'm not going to pin it, but he says, Diego Leon will be a regular first-team starter by Xmas. Well, I really hope you're right, Mr. Miyagi. He certainly looks like good physically and stuff, and maybe he could dislodge someone in the first team, you know, the likes of Dorgu or whoever. United need a keeper that can save his career. Yep, Garnacho faults his decision-making, but the talent is there. Oh, 100%. That will improve with time as well. You know, if you think about it, and if he gets the right team and the right manager, if you think about someone like Raheem Sterling always had raw talent, but he always seemed a headless chicken. His final product wasn't there. Okay, even when he was at Liverpool, like, it just wasn't. He was okay, but you could see he was lacking a vital part of the game. Now, when he went to City, by the time he was at City, he was matured. Obviously, Pep coaching him and stuff helped massively, and all of that. But he actually did become a great player for both club and country for a number of years, didn't he? But then now back to being a headless chicken again. So, so that's the thing. Like, you can gain that experience, you can gain that know-how, but there's a certain aspect of it which is natural as well. But I do think that Garnacho certainly needs to work on his final product, yeah. And decision making in the final third there as well. Diego Costa would be better than Højlund. Certainly would. Anybody would be. Diogo Costa even. Diogo Costa up front probably be better, lad. Get Mbeumo now. I'd take Jamie Vardy. Hello, the K Cadet. What's going on, mate? Welcome aboard the Bacano Express. Welcome into the stream. How goes it, Mr. Cakes? You saw a story the other day that Inter wanted a lot less for Onana, but put the high price tag on him as a joke. Test the water when we bought him. Then they bought Summer for 5 million. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's right. Crazy, isn't it, that we paid that money for him? Ridiculous. Right, let's talk about some other transfer dealings and stuff. We are going to have a Q&A at the end of this stream, as always, so stick around. But for now, I'm just going to continue with the transfer news. There's basically nothing really else to discuss, really much. But this, Man United and Richard Rios link. You know, obviously we've been linked to Richard Rios. Had a very impressive Club World Cup. Looks a good talent. You know, I do like the look of him. I think he'd be a good addition to the team. However, doesn't look like it's happening because Man United linked player Richard Rios is getting closer to joining AS Roma from Palmeiras. Agreement in principle between the midfielder and Roma for a contract until 2030. This is via Nico Shearer via United exclusive. Now, obviously, you know, there's still time for other teams to go in and get a deal done. But it does look like maybe AS Roma are the team leading the chase for Richard Rios at the moment, which is a player that we would definitely benefit from having in the team because, you know, he's mobile, robust, good ball winner, etc., athletic, all that sort of business. So Richard Rios would be a good addition to our side, especially if he's only going to cost like 25 or 30 million euros or whatever it would be. But right now, we're not going in for him. We're not actually going in for him. We might be linked to him, but we're not going in for him because we're skint, guys. The Glazers have made us skint. That's what's gone on over the years. The mismanagement of the club over the years has just got us in a position where we're not as commercially, well, we might be commercially still able to generate cash, but we're not as commercially able to generate the cash because we're not in the Champions League. You know, obviously it's going to have a knock-on effect. A lot of sponsorship deals have clauses in them that say if you're not in the Champions League, then we'll pay you 20% less and stuff like that. It's important, obviously. It's important for these teams, for these brands to be getting their name out there and paying the money to be in the Premier competitions. They don't want to, you know, so it has a knock-on effect there, but it also, their running of the club and the debt that they've got us in and the debt they bought us with has just shackled us financially, and they haven't cleared it off. We're servicing that debt every single year. I think it's 40 to 60 million pounds we spend each year just on servicing the debt. That means just to keep it at the same level, just interest payments basically. I mean, that's just outright wrong. Aside from that, you know, they've driven this club into the ground where we're unable to actually compete now. So the money's not coming in those avenues anymore from the likes of the Champions League money, etc. So they have just absolutely done a number on this club to the point now where we are skint this summer after signing 2 players. Like if we sign Mbeumo and we sign Cunha, that's all of our money done, isn't it? Obviously it is, because if it wasn't, we'd have been working on other players and putting in other bids for other players right now in different positions, such as Richard Rios or plenty of other goalkeeping options or strikers that we've looked at. So obviously Man United are terrible in this window, and I think we've just got to, I don't know what we've got to do. We've just got to sort of eat the shit sandwich at the moment. What can we do other than sort of protesting and stopping games going ahead and trying to force these Glazers to sell? I mean, I don't know what we can really do. It's very difficult. I mean, you just have to do what you can do, which is boycott the games, boycott the merch, boycott the subscriptions, you know, be loud and proud in regards to Glazers out, and I guess that's all we can really do. You know, they legally own the football club. It's an absolute disgrace. Should have never been able to buy the football club in the first place with the debt money. You know, it's not allowed to happen anymore, that sort of an acquisition. But it was then, and it's just plain wrong. But anyway, they're still here. We just got to try and force them out so that we can get new owners, whoever it may be, Qatari owners, whatever. I think it would be a lot better for us to have that Qatari money than the Glazer shithouse money, because the Glazer shithouse money isn't money. It's debt money for a start that we still got to pay off, and they don't even put anything into the football club from their own coffers or anything. If we had like a nice sugar daddy owner, we'd be the best football club in the world again within a matter of a couple of seasons. I'm sure of it. If we had like a Roman Abramovich type. I'm not saying Roman because obviously, scummer, but I'm talking about, or a Sheikh Jassim, these sorts of people that would be interested in having us, but some sugar daddy types, what I'm saying, a Sheikh Mansour, at Man City, that sort of thing. If you had something like that, we would easily be the best club in the world because we've got the best support base. We just need the backing. We just need the backing. And you can say, oh, yeah, but the Glazers have spent a lot of money over the years. They've only spent it on players, though. They haven't spent it elsewhere in the club. We can all see that. They haven't paid the debt off. We shouldn't be in debt. They bought the club 20 years ago nearly. We shouldn't be in debt anymore after 20 years, but we are. They just serviced that debt. That's just plain wrong, isn't it? So they don't spend the money where they should. They might, on the face of it, sign some players. They've also spent the money ridiculously poorly, which has to be said as well. Like, if they'd have spent the money well, then it could be a different story. We could be talking about Glazers actually being good. But the reality is they haven't put the right people in place over the years. They've had wanky bankers and financiers and these sorts of people in footballing positions at this football club. So we've been very well out of touch. Post-Ferguson, things have changed massively. Ferguson was the type of manager that had a finger in every pie at the football club. He was an old school manager. He was involved in everyday mundane running tasks of the football club. Speaking to the tea ladies and and all the way up to coaching the team and talking to his coaches to coach the team and all that sort of stuff. And he was the master of delegation. Not delegation, sorry. What's the word I'm looking for here? He was the master of what's the word I'm looking for here, guys, when you get other people to administer tasks for you? What's the word I'm looking for here? I'm having a mare. My brain's gone into jelly. My brain's turned into Andre Onana's left hand. But anyway, so he was the master of delegate. Is that it? Oh, it is delegation. Okay, sorry, my brain's melting then. It is delegation. Thank you guys for reaffirming that for me. So I was right the first time, but my brain just decided I was wrong. Anyway, that's kind of what Andre Onana does when he's playing in goal for Man United. He's like, oh, dive over there. Oh no, I dive over here. Oh no, my hand's made of jelly. So that makes sense. But anyway, what we were talking about Fergie being the master of delegation and also having a finger in every different pie. So when you had Fergie at the club, even though the Glazers were still here, we still had Fergie. He was amazing. He was old school. But now we've got so many different jobs, so many different wanky people coming in the football club in different made-up roles. And it's like we need some proper football people in, and we still need that. Yeah, we'll have to accept that the Glazers are here to stay. Oh, I think there's a part of them that is regretting not selling to Qatar, though. Come on, I mean, have they done any benefit to Manchester United's overall position in the last couple of years? Is the club worth more now than it was then? I would argue no. I mean, I suppose that everything's just got further valuable in terms of English football in the Premier League, so maybe it has actually got more valuable. But it's through no help from them. It's not because of Manchester United being good. It's because, maybe the English football, the Premier League, is just so much money in it, etc. And things like the European competitions and there's so much revenue and avenues for revenue that I suppose the value is there. But right now I feel like surely the saleability of Manchester United is not at its all-time high, is it? It's not at its all-time high in terms of the money that it could generate. So I don't think they've done themselves any favours. All I can really hope for is that they try to get this football club back to being a European team. And as soon as it is and they can get top whack money for the sale, they sell. But I don't think they will, mate. I don't think they will. I mean, them selling to Ineos and chipping off a piece of the pie for them to generate cash from Ineos without them having to reach into their pockets was clearly, Anyway, bollocks. Sorry, my brain just gave up there. Right, so Richard Rios, close to a move apparently to Roma. That's not great news for us. It's not great news for us there, guys. Okay, right, we're going to do a rundown of what we've discussed in this show. We're also going to check out the latest updates on social media very quickly and just see if there's anything else that's come in today in regards to Manchester United movements. It really doesn't look like it. No, I'm looking at all the top journos reports here, and there's just nothing more in regards to either Mbeumo to Manchester United or a striker an option for Manchester United that we could go and buy, or a goalkeeper option. There's just nobody that we're actually going for right now. It's a pretty sad state of affairs, I have to say. Right, we're going to get into the chat, but before I do, I'm going to go over and shout out everyone that has reposted us on X. The link is pinned at the top of the live chat. Do us a massive favour. Click that link at the top of the live chat. Smash the link there. Give us a subscribe if you're new, and we'll shout you out all later on in the show. Every single one of you legends that, you know, that reposts us. Okay, hang on a sec. Right then, folks. So, let's go and shout out everyone that's reposted us using that link at the top. Boom. Okay, thank you to you legends. We've had 5 reposts. Big ups to the 5 legends that have shared it. Sanjay Ramatar, Francois Koch, Aidan Vickery, Berber, and Aaron as well. Get the fuck in there, my son. How am I not following Berber? Oh, I am following Berber. It was just messed up. Anyway, yes, mate, get the fuck in there, my son. We are cooking. Let's get into the chat. Before we do, I'll just do a quick rundown. So, Mbeumo to Manchester United. We're hoping, apparently, we can get it done before the tour, which is an absolute joke, isn't it? Brentford forward, Bryan Mbeumo before their preseason tour. That's what we need to try and get in. Sky Sports Chef says that we're optimistic that we can sign Mbeumo. They're not far away from the overall fee. Brentford believed to be 65 million. We're not far away, but we're not prepared to pay for it all up front, it seems. We're a bunch of absolute time-wasting shithouses trying to save money by playing a long game, which we don't have time to do this. Amorim needs his players. Okay, reports that Napoli have rejected Galatasaray's €75 million offer for Viktor Osimhen. It's because they were trying to spread it over 5 years, and obviously Napoli want an immediate payment. So he does have a release clause of 75 million if you were prepared to trigger it and pay the money up front, but they're trying to get it on the never over 5 years, which they're not going to go for. Maybe they might consider 2 years, but I certainly don't think that Galatasaray are going to be able to pay the money and get the job done in one swoop there. So that's unlikely now. But you never know. Juventus, I forgot to talk about this, actually. Juventus we talked about it last night, the reports from Marco Gordiano coming out in Italy, that Juventus are close to reaching agreement there with Manchester United and Sancho. Maybe just a few finer details to iron out, but apparently the player wanted to go, had agreed terms. These were the reports that came out, taken with a pinch of salt, and was prepared to go and play for Juventus. That was the reports that were coming out last night. Now, obviously, we have to wait and see if that materialises. It would be great for United to get 25 million quid or euros even for this guy and be able to go and maybe get in a Richard Rios or go and get a goalkeeper or a striker or somebody for that money. Surely we've got some more money to put towards it as well. But this is what Rudy Galletti says today. He said Juventus are making real progress for Sancho. The winger is now open to a pay cut, and talks over a 4-year deal are advancing. Juve and Man United are still discussing the possible final fee. More details on. Right, okay, so I personally don't think Sancho is prepared to take a pay cut. Honestly don't. But again, like we've talked about, in Italy, there's some sort of rule with these guys going over there where they only get taxed on, 50% of their earnings for a set period of time or something, which means that technically Juventus could pay him less money than what Manchester United pay him, but he can still achieve the same amount in his bank account every single week, basically, because of less tax. So if that is the case, then maybe there is a potential pay cut for him, but it doesn't mean it's an actual pay cut, because what he ends up with after tax in Italy may be just the same, even though they're paying X amount less, So that also is a factor. So it may not be a pay cut as we would think, but just in regards to him actually banking the same amount of money at the end of the week, it might be that sort of pay cut. Right, yeah, that's it, really. We're going to get into the live chat now, guys. Also, a link with John Victor from Botafogo, and Richard Rios is looking like he's likely to go to Roma. Right, we're going to get into the live chat now, guys, for a Q&A. It's time to have your say. Thank you, everyone who's been in the stream here today. Do us a favour, smash that like button. Shit, Matthew Smith, I missed your super chat. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, lad. Let's replay this activity here. Super chat. Matthew Smith, thank you for super chatting us, you legend. Yes, mate. He says we need a director of football at the club. Oh, well, we need a footballing person at the football club, like a proper footballing person. I'm not talking about a wanky financier or someone like that. We need a football man. If you look at people, directors of football, who I would like to see? And do you know who's perfect for the job? Again, I don't think we could do it, but it'll be somebody like, Edwin van der Sar. Mr. Edwin van der Sar loves the football club, has experience doing these sorts of things at Ajax, and obviously played for Man United, an absolute legend, but obviously still has great abilities when it comes to doing that job. That's something that we are missing out on, a proper footballer man, especially somebody who has an interest in Manchester United and loves Manchester United. So somebody like Edwin van der Sar would be brilliant for that role. Thank you, Red Olsen. Yes, let's go. I'm doing all right, mate. Cooking slowly but surely in here. It's up to 28 degrees nearly in here. Why is that? Oh, 27.8. Yep, it's pretty toasty. I know, Wayne Rooney's going to be a pundit, isn't he? He's getting 800k a year, lad. Go on, Wayne. Why didn't we even attempt to sign Rios? What's wrong with our club? Lack of funds, isn't it, Kate Cadet? I know, it's crazy though, isn't it? Roma going in for him. Well, we might still have a try, I suppose, but we'd have to be leaving it really late, letting others go in there before we have a try. It seems that's all we can really do right now. We're so slow. But I think it's just because we don't have any money, mate. We've got the Glazer shithouses. They're not prepared to put any money in from their own pockets. We've missed out on Europe, so we've got that money not coming in for us this season. And we're paying out for previous signings still. So I think we just haven't got the money, sadly. It's a joke. We should have the money. With Ineos recently investing in the club by buying a significant percentage and supposedly having readily money available. Apparently, Gyokeres and Arsenal might be a struggle because of Sesko. Interesting, Joshua. I feel like the Gyokeres deal probably will get done. I mean, it would be pretty crazy if they went for Sesko now and just pied off Gyokeres, but it would be interesting if they were using him to get Sesko. Sancho believes he has the talent of Mbappe, but has the talent of Calvert-Lewin. Even that might be a little bit generous, to be fair. Nice one, lad. Hey, what's going on, Solitude Gardo? Yes, great to see you, lad. Neil Crode. Yes, Neil says Sesko will probably end up at Scousers, Joshua Whitfield. Yeah, maybe, or Ekatike or whatever. So just on that front, Darwin Punes actually to Napoli is obviously a big story today as well. Napoli interested in taking Sharpwin Punes, so that could quite easily happen as well, which means that Liverpool will have the funds available, because they've spent a lot this summer already on players like Wirtz and Gyokeres and Frimpong, but they will have the money available to sign a new striker if they do get rid of Sharpwin Punes. So very good point there. Maybe Ekatike, Sesko, who knows? Here we go. There's no here we go, lad. There's no here we go. Breaking news, we're signing nobody. Time the Scrooge brothers broke their piggy bank. Oh, good point. Imagine that. Imagine if they actually, I don't know, there was some news and they're just injecting 200 million from outside money into the football club. But they won't do that, because if they were in the business of sorting Manchester United out, they would have paid off the debts now, so they don't have to service that every year. That in itself saves us a lot of money going forward. So that's what they would have done. Just the fact United's in 700-800 million pounds debt or whatever it is shows you they don't care. Because if they did care, they wouldn't have a club like us languished in the debt. Rumours about Moise Keane, 52 million release clause. I can't see us going from either. Not for that price, mate. Maybe for a swap deal or something, I suppose. But I just can't see us going for him. I mean, I don't even really want him. I know his stats look good in Italy. I mean, Tommy Boyle, you watch a lot of Italian football. I guess he's had a good season. He's been good over there. But when he was in the Prem, he wasn't all that, mate. Wasn't all that at all. Only worry is that Paratici, Juventus director of football, now Spurs director of football, he would want players like Douglas Luiz and Vlahovic. Heard Basuma is going the other way. Could be a potential swap deal. Yeah, interesting shot. I mean, I'm not too bothered about missing out on those players. I certainly would take Douglas Luiz if he's available for the right price, or a loan, or whatever the case may be. Vlahovic, he's got high wages and stuff, a little bit injury prone. I'm not too keen on it. But it's certainly better than what we've got now, which is nothing, which is Højlund up there, The only thing that was holding up the Sancho to Juventus deal was the agreement on who supplies the 3 years' worth of nappies. Yeah, Huggies or Pampers. Here's Tree. What's your take on Gyokeres then? We need to offload one motherfucker before we think about Rios. Oh, sorry, one midfielder. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I read that wrong. Either way, it's still appropriate and makes sense either way. Sorry. Yeah. Midfielder, that's what you meant. I thought you meant motherfucker anyway. Yes, well, either way, we need to get rid of one motherfucking midfielder. That's true. I'm thinking if we could get rid of one, for me, it would be Mason Mount. That's the one I would get rid of. See you later on. I like everybody else in the midfield, to be fair. I even like Casemiro, old man Cassie, for another season. I think he could do well with his experience. Ugarte, you know, the jury's out. We still sort of need to see how he progresses and develops this season, and maybe he can find himself and be a really good player for us ultimately. But it's, you know, it's hit and miss at the moment with Ugarte. I like Collier. He's got a good young future ahead of him. Young player, good young player. Same goes for Kobbie Mainoo. If we could get rid of one player, I would say it would have to be Mason Mount in that sort of midfield area. But again, how are you going to sell him? Because nobody wants him. We paid 60 million for him. He's probably only worth about 20. And then beyond that, the actual amount of money we're talking about here, to be paying him weekly on the wage front, is what's going to basically cause the problem here. What's this? We've got a raid from Views. Views from the Bits, lad. Get in there, my son. Thank you very much for sending some people over there. Views from the Bits, lad. How you doing, you legend? Yes, mate. Shout out Views from the Bits, lad. Thank you for getting in. AJ, an Arsenal scummer, says, we got 185 likes. Thanks, AJ. Do us a favour, guys. Help get us to 200 thumbs ups. We're nearly there. We're almost at 200 likes. Give us a massive like if you haven't done so, legends. That was hilarious. I know. You were right the first time. I was, wasn't I? Yeah. I was right the first time, mate. Oh, goodness me. Oh, yeah, you can think of at least 4 motherfuckers we need to upload all week. Oh, good shout. Good shout. We do need someone to replace Eriksen. No, in an ideal world, we do. Listen, this is my transfer plan. If Piggy bought the club, let's I don't know. Let's say that I struck black gold in my garden tomorrow and I became an instant billionaire overnight, right? And I could buy Manchester United off the shithouse Glazers for 7 billion and tell them to fucking do one, and then we had money available. What I would do this summer, you know, realistically, not just going to break the bank on players, would be I would sign Visser. I would, as the striker, the main striker. I would sign Vardy as a backup, and use Chido Obi as a backup, but use Vardy as a third place backup, right? That's doable and easy. I would also sign Dumfries, get Dumfries in, break the bank. You don't even need to break the bank with them for the fee. But if it costs a lot wages-wise, well, you know, he's probably worth it. He's a great right wing back. He's available for, you know, 25 million euros right now. He has that release clause available for another week or so until mid-July. I think it is available. I think it's still active. So you could get him for 25 million. I'd get Dumfries. That would be my right wing-back signing. And then I'd probably end up getting a mobile midfielder. You know, like Richard Rios looks good. Richard Rios looks good. I like a few different players. I've always liked the look of, Palhinha. If he was available coming in from Bayern there, maybe, who knows. I also like the look of that Edison lad. Also like the look of Wharton, different sort of player, but I like Wharton. You know, somebody for the midfield, somebody there for the midfield. And then probably you do need a centre-back coming in as well. And, of course, a goalkeeper. Of course, a goalkeeper. You know, so Diogo Costa would be the one to go for me if we had the money. Beyond that, Martinez, because I like the experienced players. Beyond that, yeah, you know, you could take a punt on someone like a Chevalier or a Carnesecchi. They might be the next best thing. But I still value experience more than potential at this stage for United, especially for the goalkeeper role. So, you know, that would be pretty much it, really. Mbeumo, get Mbeumo done. We've got Mbeumo Cunha as the 10, spot on. We got Bruno, Cassie, Ugarte, Mainoo. Those guys can play in the midfield, and if we added someone like Richard Rios there, that'd be great. Then you've got the striker position sorted out if you signed a proper number 9 like a Watkins or a Visser, and then also back it up with somebody free like Vardy or Wilson, you know, not to break the bank, just somebody there as a backup, because you still got Chido Obi, who I think should be given game time and opportunities as a secondary choice. Then a right wing back there helps improve the position there, because I don't think Dallow's really up to it. He is a good player and I like him for the squad. I would definitely keep him, but I don't think he's top tier or anything. He's not world class in my opinion. I like his attitude. I really do. Great guy, great player. Keep him around. But Dumfries there. You know, I just feel like we've got some easy positions to strengthen, like easily identifiable positions to strengthen. Craig GC, thank you so much, Craig GC Burrow, for being a member. New member. He's the man with a new membership. Thank you very much for becoming a member there, my friend. It's Craig GC. Get your favourite emoji in there to welcome in Craig GC, everybody. Thank you so much, boss. You're a legend. Could we convince Donnarumma if we had the money? I actually don't think so, mate. No, I don't think so. I think he can get just as much money at PSG. They've got the money. Do you know what I mean? He's just won the Champions League with them. They've got the money as well. So I don't think so. You know, we'd have to pay him an insane amount. We shouldn't do that. You know, you might be able to turn his head for 500k a week, but that's crazy. That's going to have knock-on effects for years on other players in the squad, etc. It's just silly. So I don't think we should do that. If it was back in the day, you know, 20 years ago when we were actually at the top of the league, I think we could have got him. We really could have done. We were one of the biggest clubs in the world. We easily could have signed Donnarumma this summer, but not anymore. No Mbeumo deal, no Craig, no Mbeumo. It's still just slower than sand. We can find midfielder in Lyon. That's a good shout there, Resh McGurk. Yeah, that's it. There we are. There is a couple of decent players there that would be interested in. Pig should be our CEO at Manchester United. Thank you, Francisco. Let's make it happen. Get 2 keepers and sell Onana to that All-Stars team. Great shout there, Links Red. Yes. There you go. So we talked about this link with John Victor. He would be a good backup. Get rid of Onana. Sign 2 keepers. John Victor as a backup or whoever as a backup. Don't even really need a backup. We've got Heaton and Bender. But also then we certainly do need a proper goalkeeper. Biggest issue with the open heart surgery is none of the players actually want to leave, even after consistently failing. Yeah, well, it's either they don't want to leave or they are unsaleable due to the wages we've paid them. The Labour would be an awesome sign-in. Sod Gyokeres. Boy says, I can't lie to United fans. I think you're fucked. Some youngsters need to come through. It's not going to rebound. Hey, fair enough, boy. Well, usually we bring a couple of youngsters through each season, don't we? Or 1 or 2, you know. Last season, I guess it would be Mainu who had a breakout. Or maybe not this season just gone, but the season before that, I mean. The season before that, who would it have been? I guess it could have been Garnacho the season before that. You know, usually there's 1 or 2, but we do need to start producing their own talents a bit more. It's all well and good going and talking about buying these players, but it would be nice to actually, you know, have another class of 92 vibe at the football club, wouldn't it? United still want Tyler Dibbling. Yeah, we were talking about this yesterday, actually. I mean, apparently we're keen on him. At the end of the day, Southampton's valuation is set at 55 to 65 million euros. So we're not going to go for Tyler Dibbling, I don't think, mate. It's unrealistic. He's too much money. If he was half that, then I think we would be interested because he's young and he's got big potential. But it's a lot of money right now for a youngster. It's a lot of money to pay for potential. Why can't we play Martinez as a midfielder? Well, I guess we could. That's a very fair point there, political. Thing is, though, we'd want our number 6 ideally to be very, very mobile, you know, very fast and mobile and athletic and all that sort of stuff. Not saying that Martinez is not. He's a strong, you know, he's pretty quick, but he's not the most sort of mobile player. 200 likes. Let's go, Aaron. We smashed 200 likes. Sue. Greetings, Man United Greek fan. How goes it? Yes, history buff. The areas need reinforcement are very obvious or should be. Yes, mate. Can you get players or better on gaming than this window? Piggy, you can get players better on gaming than this window. That's true. We could probably get Malik for Fana for a steal as Lyon need funds. That's what I'm saying. There's a few players I like at Lyon, you know. Mikatadze, I've always rated him. I don't know why more people aren't interested in him. Thank you, Neil Crodo. I appreciate you. Who else at Lyon? There's another, who's that? A really good Cam. Fucking hell, Brazilian friend. We're still in Think Piggy mode, not great. We're still in Think mode, Piggy. Oh, yeah. Would you take Aubameyang? Definitely not. No. He's an absolute mercenary prat. Onana needs to stop being first 11. We need players with good attitudes. Aubameyang's a stinker, lad. He's a stinker. He's a tool downer. He will down tools at any moment when he's not happy. He will also go and knock on Camp Nou's door trying to move and get a move to Barcelona when he's still an Arsenal player. Stuff like that. Guy's a scumbag. United said before, 1st of July, we have funds. They want to fuck United have some regional agreement with Mbeumo. I know, yeah. It's just, I guess we're just trying to scrimp a bit, aren't we? Premier League and FA should have apologised for allowing that takeover to ever happen. So true. Should have never have happened, lad. And to still be in debt right now to this day, nearly 20 years later, is a joke. They told Maguire he wouldn't play again and played again, then players don't have to take the threats of the club serious. Nah, true. I mean, look, at the end of the day, if we can't sell players like Rashford, okay, then what's going to happen? Is it really beneficial to us to let him go on a loan and you know, maybe a club won't even pay him all of his wages and we'll have to contribute some of his wages to pay for somebody else. It just doesn't make sense. The deal has to be right for us. Yes, we could send him out on loan and it would make sense if there's a fee up front and all of his wages being covered. But unless that's happening because he's on big wages, then it doesn't really make much sense for us. Who knows? I mean, I could see a reality where they try and reconcile with Rashford, but I know he's had his shirt number taken off of him. He said a few months ago he wants a new challenge. He's not happy here. He's training away from the rest of the squad. There's no way he stays apart from if you just can't sell him. And then I don't know if we'll be introducing him. I very much doubt we'll be introducing him back into the side ever, because it just doesn't make sense for the continuity of the side and what Amorim's trying to do, and it undermines the coach, and he has the potential to cause toxic issues again, and also has the potential to lower the standards if he's not prepared to do what he's supposed to do. Which, let's face it, the reason why he wasn't in United's team this season is because he didn't do what Amorim wanted. He wasn't working hard enough. He wasn't being committed enough, professional enough. So that's it, really. Who needs it? We don't want it, but I'm just saying, if we can't sell him, somebody like that may be reintroduced. Who knows? Ramsdale's better than Onana, being honest. Who isn't? Yeah, Ramsdale is better. I don't really want Ramsdale, but he is better. Definitely better, but like you say, who isn't? Vlahovic or Moise Kean? Out of those two, I would go Moise Kean. Martinez from Villa to replace Onana has gone quiet. That would be a massive improvement. I mean, what I like about Vlahovic is he could play the second striker role, the number 10 role for us as well. He's very creative as well, but I just prefer Moise Kean for what we need right now. We should have signed Cherky on the cheap. Oh, mate, yeah. I know City ended up with a good player there. You guys could get Lacazette. I thought Lacazette's already gone somewhere. Before the window opened, we were cooking on gas with the players we wanted. Now we are on simmer. Or has gas gone out? Yeah, the gas has gone out, mate. The gas went out a long time ago. The only gas coming is from the Glazer's back end, mate. That's the only gas that's currently around. Lack of threat? Yeah, exactly. Too many journalists, pigs, spinning loads of stories. You don't know who to trust. Definitely. There's only actually, I'll be honest with you, Man United Greek fan, right? There's only sort of one or two journalists that I actually really, truly believe anyway. The main one being David Ornstein. I have to say, I do rate David Ornstein. And even he can't be right 100% of the time if something changes last second, But David Ornstein is great, to be fair. Fabrizio Romano is very good, but Fabrizio does obviously like to, he's putting a lot of updates out there, a lot of updates, whereas David Ornstein, he only puts an update when there's actually, like, something big, something really happening, So David Ornstein's the daddy around these parts, isn't he, really? Mr. Ornstein, big ups. Big up the Ornstein. Hey, MUFC Realist, what's going on, lad? Yes, lad, just arrived after putting a hamster in pre-season training. Joined Shaw and Mount in the rehab. What's cracking, mate? Oh, no. Oh, dear, you pulled a hamster. Is that a euphemism? I'm guessing a hamstring. How you doing? Yes, all good, thanks. How you getting on there, MUFC Realist? Mick Blue in the house. Yes, all good. Just shooting the shit, lad. Just shooting the shit here, There's not much going on, is there? I mean, obviously, we're hoping for some movement soon, but it's pretty depressing as a United fan right now in this window. Big time. If we sign Dominic Calvert-Lewin, we might as well F this season now. What's happened to this club? Sean, man, we're not doing that. That would be an absolute terrible signing for ambition, wouldn't it? It really would set us up for failure, mate. Yeah, we can't do that. Piggy, I think the best option for Manu is a 10. I agree with you, Political. This is why we need to get rid of Mason Mount. Get rid of that Mount milk, because he's just clogging things up there. Manu should be playing at 10 as well. I agree with you there, Political. Stay calm, deals will get done. I mean, he could play 6 as well for us, I reckon. Calm down. Let's bring Chicharito back and our player problems will be over. Bayern and Barca only want to loan Rashford as a stopgap. We've talked about this yesterday. I think that is the most realistic thing, is a loan move for Rashford. That probably is the case. However, you just never know. You just never know. There could be something done there, but he's just going to cost a lot of money and his wages are quite high. Yeah, I forgot Lacazette's in Saudi. That's it, mate. I thought he moved. Why did he take so long time to get Mbeumo in? Well, there's the... I feel like I'm just repeating myself every day now. But the reason, Ban, is really because Man United are trying to agree the structure with Brentford, and we haven't been able to do so yet. There are reports they take 65 million up front, but United seemingly don't want to pay that up front. We've had bids for 45 million and 10 rejected, 57.5 million also rejected, combined of, I think, was it 50 plus 7.5 or whatever it was, 57.5 combined rejected. we've had some bids rejected, lad. 62.5 rejected is what I meant to say. 55 million plus 7.5. That's what we've had rejected. Okay? Now, we are probably just going to have to pay a bit more up front. They probably would take 65 million for him, but we don't want to pay it up front. We're just skint, lad. And we're absolute melts, and we're time-wasting bastards, and we're not giving him what he needs in order to plan properly for the season ahead. We need players out. Yeah. I know. Yeah, David Ornstein's the one, isn't he, lad, to be fair? Yeah, I feel you, Zero. There's just a lot of content being spewed out there. But Fab is good, though. Fab is good, but I do think that Ornstein is the man. Yeah. Well, there you go, history buff. There you go. Balnair, thank you for the 199 super chat. He says it has been a poor transfer window. Yes, it's been one of the worst. It's right up there with that David Moyes transfer window, isn't it? Maybe slightly better, but it's still right up there. At least we have got Cunha in. You know, that window, I don't think we did anything until later on in the window we got Fellaini. If United end up signing Callum Wilson or Calvert-Lewin, it will make my head explode. I don't mind Callum Wilson, you know. I know he's a bit injury-prone, but as a third-choice backup, don't mind him. Not to be the main guy, that would be horrendous. No, that would be horrendous. Yeah, very poor transfer window. Liverpool went through the same thing with American owners. Yeah, true. And Mbeumo, here we go soon. What about Vlahovic? Maybe. I don't think we're going for Vlahovic. His wages are high. And Mbeumo should be here we go soon, but it's been the same case for a couple of weeks. We still need United to reach an agreement there with Brentford. Yes. If Bruno, Mount, Ahmad, Garnacho, Mainoo and Xerxes all fighting for those, what's the point in Cunha and Mbeumo? That's what I'm saying. Yeah, no. Garnacho's not going to be here for a start. You think of somebody like Ahmad. Ahmad's probably going to be playing right wing-back role for us a lot. He will be playing 10 sometimes, but he'll be playing an attacking wing-back role for us, I think, Thugger. Mount will be just a backup. You're right. He'll probably have to play deeper in the midfield anyway and just be utilised as a late sub and someone to run around and win the ball and all that sort of shite. Xerxes, I think, will be used maybe as a striker quite often this summer, or a false nine, or one of the cams. Yeah, that's a fair point. Garnacho won't be here. So we do have a lot of 10s. I mean, we still got Bruno. You know, we do have a lot of 10s. That's fair. But Mainoo and Xerxes can get game time and opportunities at that role. But they also may be playing other times in different positions. Like Mainoo may be playing the 6 sometimes, coming on late in games. Or, you know, Xerxes might be playing the 9. You know, so they can play some other positions as well. Sancho, Rios and Edison. Yeah, we talked about some of it today, actually. So we talked about some of the updates coming through here in regards to... Richard Rios, there's reports coming out saying that, you know, he's getting closer to joining AS Roma. Agreement in principle between the midfielder and Roma for a contract until 2030. But obviously, again, speculative stuff. Manchester United still have an interest in him. But we don't have any money at the moment to go for these players. Maybe if we do get Sancho gone to Juventus, which is in the process. You know, we talked about it last night. Marco Gordiano reporting that there was an agreement in place, essentially, and it's likely to go ahead. Rudy Galletti saying Juventus making real progress for Jadon Sancho. The wing is now open to a pay cut and talks over a 4-year deal advancing. So it sounds really good on the Sancho to Juventus front, doesn't it? It does sound really good on Sancho to Juventus. Richard Rios, not so much. But if we get the money, I believe we're in a position where we just have to sell players to sign players. If we can get the 25 million for Sancho, maybe we can get someone like Rios in. Yeah. But we just need to stop being a bunch of fannies, pull our finger out, and go and sign these players. Rios isn't huge amounts of money. He's available for a pretty cheap deal. Let's go and get him, you know? Yeah, Southampton would probably be interested in Mount. Maybe, but he wouldn't be interested in them, would he, playing down in the Championship and stuff? That's it. He's on 200,000 a week, Matthew. I believe he's on 200k a week for Mason Mount. That's right. Arsenal get rid of their guff players Aubameyang and Granit Xhaka, and we're still in idle mode, even in my frustration, trying to find positivity. Glinios will make sure United fans buy the new kit before Mbeumo announcement. Do you reckon? Oh, could happen. Brentford should just pay the money and be done with it. Dithering and waffling in windows is what United excels in. Edison, not that good. We should just walk away from that. I mean, I like the look of him, but I would much prefer... You know, I like Premier League proven players right now, but from what I saw from Richard Rios in the Club World Cup, you know, he looked very, very good, and I don't think it's a big risk. It's not a lot of money. Thank you, Studio. Says smashing the like button when viewing the video is like wiping your feet on the welcome mat upon entering your host's home. Let's show some class. Thank you, Studio. Yes, hit that like button if you haven't done so. Twat the likes. Hit the subscribe. I'm going to read a bunch more comments out here, but then we're going to have to wrap up the stream because I'm on school run today. I've got to pick the little one up from school. Mrs. P did a night shift last night. She's also on a night shift again tonight, so she's sleeping. So I'm on school run duty, my friends. Lone Wolf, what you doing before streaming? I was just sitting in the garden smoking. History Buff says Edison is better than Ugarte. I'd take him. Xavi Quero, Arbaleba are the big deals. Interesting. Yes, we've seen the Xavi Quero links recently, but I don't believe there's too much going on with those deals myself, but we'll see. We need a fox in a box. If you were to sell either Højlund or Xerxes, who are you kicking out? Definitely Højlund out of those two, 100%. Xerxes good in the build-up. Højlund's good at nothing. Thank you, Man United Greek fan. It's crazy that we completely missed out on João Pedro. I know he would have been an excellent addition. Xavi Guerra looks good. Let's get him, says Exonator. If we bring Jamie Vardy for a backup striker, it's good. He's free. I agree, Ban. I think you can't really go wrong for one season, and he probably would sign on a one-season deal as well. Same owner's going to sack Amorim for lack of wins next season. Too much concentration on Mbeumo. Yeah, he needs players in the team to work with and actually help him. Otherwise, he should walk away. We need one good catalyst player to show the whole locker room that works. Oh, yeah. I would just get rid of him, Zero. You know, it's embarrassing to only get 3 million for him, but I would just get rid of him. Surely we can get 6 for him. I mean, we only paid about 12 for him, but still. Just in his hands for next season. Fully aware of the budget. So what is season declining for 100 million? Seems probably see the new Spurs movie. Surprised none of the promoted clubs haven't shown any interest. Garrett isn't good enough. I don't even like that link personally at the moment. I just don't really like that link. But, you know, I know it's being discussed, but I don't really like the link personally. It's true that we have Mount on the team. I hadn't even forgotten about him. He won't be playing much this season. We've signed loads of players in his position. Or, you know, not loads of players, but we are signing Mbeumo and Cunha, and he's supposed to be a 10. He can play deeper for us and play an 8, I suppose, but he's not going to be first choice by any means. Yes, exactly. You think he gets done? I do too. Yes or no, guys? Does Mbeumo get done before the tour? Is he on the plane? Yes or no? I have to say yes. I'm going to say yes. We tabled an offer for Tchouaméni. Really? Who says this there? Mr. Tommy Borlad. That'd be an interesting pickup. Piggy Daddy Call. Where's this? Is this the Mirror reporting this, Tommy? Yes, a little more action, please. That's so true. United will make more money from other clubs selling our old players. I know we were talking about that earlier, Brett. Ilanga and also, of course, Alvaro deals giving us a combined 13 million, more than we've made selling our own players. Yeah, I'd take Vardy for one season. Last 10 minutes, exactly. He could snatch us a few goals, definitely. You think yes, you think yes, no. Yeah, there you go. Anyway. On that note, guys, I'm going to wrap up this cheeky lunchtime afternoon stream. There's the latest. It is frustrating. There is no Mbeumo, here we go, or announcements there by Fab or Ornstein about agreements being reached, unfortunately, between the clubs. It's still being worked upon. That's what we've just got to go on right now. Sancho to Juve's looking good as well. That looks like it could happen. That's looking good. Roma, interested in Rios. That's advancing. Napoli reject Gala offer. Can't get an agreement. Oh, nice one. Let me have a look here, Tommy Ball, real quick. See what this is real quick that's coming in here. But anyway, we're going to wrap this stream up, so I've got to go do the school run. Let's have a look at this. Tchouaméni, is it? Oh, okay. It's in Spanish. I can't read that. I'll have a look after the stream, mate. Yes. I'm going to translate that. Nice one. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in, you legends. That's it from me. God bless you all. Piggy loves you. And remember, you can follow us on Insta, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Kick at Flying Pig United. Check out the website, flyingpigunited.com. Smash the likes before you go. Hit the bell icon. Links are in the description. Thanks, everyone who's tuned in. Come back after. Get your thoughts and opinions in about anything we've discussed. Enjoy the weather. Enjoy your afternoon, guys. Enjoy your evenings. If there's any breaking news, we'll jump right back on and cover it. But if not, I'll see you tonight around about 10 p.m. for a rundown of all the evening's news. Even if there's not that much, we'll jump on and have a nice chat around sort of 10 p.m.-ish. So come and join us for that, guys. And also, yes, Aaron, give us a subscribe over on the gaming channel. You too, Sean. There's the link to the gaming channel. Thanks for that there, Mr. Aaron. You can go and follow that link at the top of the chat there. And make sure you subscribe to Flying Pig Gaming if you're not already. That's my second YouTube channel. Go over there and subscribe to that channel too, Flying Pig Gaming. Right, have a great day, folks. Thanks for watching. Great chat as always. Big up to the Mighty Bacon Brigade, all the legends, all the moderators, all the members. Thanks for getting in here raw. And remember, Piggy loves you. And also remember, when the seagulls follow the trawler, this is because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much. Get in there, you beauties. Thank you so much to all the patrons here for supporting the channel on patreon.com/FlyingPigUnited. As a thank you, all you legends will be appearing on this outro list. Get in there. Once again, thank you to all the YouTube members, but one of the best ways you can support the channel is on patreon.com, so check it out. Patreon.com/FlyingPigUnited. And once again, a big thank you to all the legends that do support the channel on Patreon. Get in.